Yeah, well, obviously, he actually approached me after the game once he heard of the vision coming out, and he stressed to me that it wasn't directed at me. It was more his frustration at the way he was playing in the previous play, and we fully take his word from that. So we've had a couple of follow-up conversations about his role, how we can best get him into the game, how he can help the team, try and find that balance, and he's fully committed to what we're doing, not only week to week but long term. So I'm happy with the way he's approached this week.
What can you do with someone like him? Because obviously he's so talented as a forward, but then you obviously need him in the middle. Has that been one of the more difficult tasks for you this year, trying to figure out how best to use him and for you two going forward to get the best out of him?
Yeah, well, it's trying to, not just about Sonny, it's about the balance of our whole team. And I think on the weekend was our plan was to play him in the midfield a little bit more, but our mids were dominating in there. And I think we were plus 20 clearance for most of the night, and our issue was scoring enough goals and a big enough score to give ourselves a chance of winning. And a lot of people, including me in particular, think that we're a more dangerous forward line with him in the forward line. So we've just got to work through the right role for him, and we've got to work through the split between midfield and forward. And there's no point us winning the clearances by that much if we can't score. So we need to rejig our forward line a little bit, make sure we create the right roles for our players, and see if we can maximise those inside 50s we're getting at the moment.
So just to clear it up though, you and Sonny, you've got a good relationship.
Absolutely, yeah, no, absolutely. There's no issue there at all. I take his word for it. He's been fantastic, really positive this week. And like I said, we're looking forward to building on our relationship into the future.
Hey Justin, I'll jump in. It's Josh from Nine.
Hey Josh.
About rejigging the forward line. Obviously, trying a few different guys from on the high half forward sort of area. Do you look at some of the tools you've got there, and obviously Jesse in the mix now as well, and possibly pushing one a little bit further up the ground to help with that sort of connection issue?
Yeah, we will. We'll probably rejig our forward line a little bit this week. And I mean, there's a lot of components that go into it. It's not just our forwards all the time. Sometimes it's the midfielders kicking it in there. Sometimes it's the midfielders collapsing on the forwards, and and sometimes we're getting forced wide and slow a lot. So there's a lot of things that go into our connection to the forward line. We'd like to give our forwards a little bit more isolation and a bit more space for each other to work in, and that's probably the starting point we've worked on a bit this week.
You must have been really happy with Blake Hager's game. Obviously, you said sort of before selection that there were some things he was working on behind the scenes. Is that the sort of performance you're expecting from him going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's got his fitness back to a level where it's allowed him to be really confident in his body at AFL level. I don't think that was there post his hamstring injury. That's allowed him just to go out there and try and execute his role. And he's got some things he's going to continue to work on, but I thought the way he played his role in the weekend on that wing allowed him to impact the game, and he used the ball pretty well and supported our defenders as well from that wing. So he got a lot of things right.
What about the other moment from the coach's box, or two in the coach's box, or from the coach's box? You almost hitting the glass window the other night. We've all had a good chuckle at it. We understand it gets pretty stressful in there. What did you make of seeing yourself shown about a billion times every single footy show?
No, I thought it was pretty ordinary. Thought I'd let my emotions get a hold of me. Something I talked to my players about, and I didn't live up to it myself. So I need to be better than that. I need to be calmer and cooler in the box and make sure I'm not letting my emotions take control. So I'm just glad I pulled myself back and didn't break the window. That would have been a bit awful.
Any changes you think for Monday? Have you got who's in the mix to sort of come in, or is there anyone saw that might be looking at probably into those specific congestion periods?
Yeah, well, we're still only 3 days post-game, so we've still got today and tomorrow to have a bit of a train and see how our players fully recover. So we'll leave it to the last minute, but we're really happy with the way Connor Blakely reacted last week to getting dropped. Really happy with the way Liam Henry reacted as well and trained really well on the weekend. So Yeah, we'll just have to see how we go tonight, and you know, the likelihood is that we'll make a couple of changes, but I can't tell you who that will be yet.
Is Roy still making any shot for the last few games of the year, or is he still sort of managing that long-term injury that he's sort of been nursing pretty much since he got to the club?
Well, it's not. He's not managing it anymore. It's just really about him getting his body up to an AFL level at the moment. Yeah, he's definitely a chance for probably more one of the last 2 games. He's made massive inroads, and whether he gets a game or not this year, he can look at it as a real positive step forward for his AFL career. Yeah, he's come a long way since he got to the club. He's almost fully over his injuries now, and whatever he does at the end of the year will set him up for a really good pre-season and a really good crack at 2021.
What are the conditions like up in Cairns, Justin? What are you expecting when you come here to Melbourne at that night up there?
Well, it's definitely warm. Yeah, we're just about to train, so it'll be interesting to see what the dew does, see what the ball handling's like. Our intel from the locals is that the wind usually dies down at night time, so we're expecting a pretty still night, and yeah, fast. It looks like a fast deck, so looking forward to it.
And a chance to really, I guess, sort of get a jump on Melbourne. They were sort of a bit disappointing over the weekend. Obviously, they've still got a little bit to play for, but they probably lowered their colours a little bit. I guess a chance to sort of try and capitalise on maybe a bit of out of form from their point of view.
I suppose that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is that they'll be itching to try and make amends from the other night, because they've got a lot to play for, and they're going to be really hungry and ferocious, I would imagine, after their previous result. So definitely prepared for them at their best, because their best is very good. So yeah, we're going to have to be on our game from the first bounce.
And just one more from me, Griff Lowe rejoining main training this week. Obviously that's really exciting for the playing group. Perth Co's been one that sort of, can hand the players, so he's obviously done really well with his recovery, and it's obviously exciting to have him back in the group.
Yeah, great result. He's worked really hard to rehab that toe, and he'll come back into training post the Melbourne game. And yeah, it looks reasonably likely that it might be available for the last game. So we'll just weigh up whether it's worth putting him in there for one game. I think it's been a really good carrot for him to drive his rehab, and he's been really good amongst the backline group. Whilst we've been in the hub, he's been helping them prepare for the game. So really happy with the way he's invested. Really happy with the way he's rehabbed that toe, and it's all looking positive for him.